everyone, this is your daily reading for the 23rd of January for the collective, for my subscribers, for whoever this story is for. I literally couldn't believe it. And I do shuffle, and I get the same card out. My deep dark sea mermaid finds solutions in unknown places in the darkness. So it's basically, I thought, I'm literally getting the same story, so this same energy is still playing out. Although this has developed slightly differently, because the first card I got out was the garden yet again. So this is publicity. It's an announcement. It's something that's happening in your social circle. With the sun, the same two cards from yesterday. This is illumination. Something being publicly announced. But then we did have a card of the storks here. So this is where it does change up quite a bit, because we had the fox yesterday. So, I mean, there could be similar strains running through this, but the storks is about change. It's about transition. It's about, it can be about moving home. It can be about babies. It's about starting something new and making the move. It can be about travel. I do think there's an element of travel here, and someone's very unsure about it. I actually have had a real chuckle all the way through this reading. It's quite something. I've no idea what to call it yet, but once I've finished, I'll be a bit clearer where to start. So I think this is a couple that I've got my Emperor at the base of the deck. Well, let's just start with him first. He is in the upright position. This Emperor is beyond confused about an Empress in reverse here. Either someone he's not speaking to, I'll come on to her in a second, but he's no idea who this female is, what she's all about. He can't literally decide if she's a pure nun or an impure nun. I mean, honest to God, hilarious. I've got femme fatale. He doesn't know if she's using her sensuality to like lure him in and literally kill him, or she's an actual nun. She's like, you know, purity, perfection, religious even. He's so beyond confused with the moon in reverse here. The moon can sometimes be secrets that are coming out, but I'm sort of getting this is major confusion, major anxiety even, and an enormous amount of fear here. This is the Devil card. So he feels incredibly magnetically drawn in this direction, but it terrifies him at the same time, because he has no idea who this woman is, really. He cannot decide if she's all good, all bad, pure or impure. I mean, I don't know what he actually wants, but he's beyond confused because I've now got the Seven of Cups. He doesn't know if this female, this Empress who's coming out in reverse, is luring, as I say, luring him in to trap him, or creating almost a false, knowing you, knowing me, a false public image. Yeah, that's what it might be. So I don't know how long their connection's been going on for, or whether they've met. I mean, beyond that, I've got the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Wands. There's an enormous amount of sexual attraction in this reading as well. But this Emperor who's come through as himself, who's my divine masculine, is holding himself back, because he actually has not got a clue as to who he's dealing with here. Now let's have a look at our Empress. This is hilarious. She's come up in reverse, so it can mean in reverse this is someone who has fertility issues, who's no longer on the scene, you know, so many things. I'm actually guessing that she's in reverse because they're either no longer speaking, or this public thing. It's something that may be known, that she's no longer in the picture, that she may have left him in the past, or they've split up in the past, or they're no longer talking. But in a nutshell, she's come through with, and do check my songs below, people, what's it called? The Pretenders, don't get me wrong, if I'm acting distracted. Once in a while, two people meet, suddenly thunder and showers everywhere. I think she's actually pretending to be disinterested in this masculine. she may be very non-committal. She may be very flighty. Sometimes she seems all in, then she's all out. It might be unbelievable. It might just be fantastical. I think there's an enormous amount of misunderstanding. I really don't think these people understand one another at all. And yet they have a very strong draw. She's come through, and I do have the full reverse here as the full reverse. But this is, I'm getting from her, this is someone who's really sarcastic. She's probably or possibly even in denial of an emotional truth here. And this is where this, don't get me wrong, she is a bit in and out. She doesn't really know if she wants to go in this direction or not. And yet again, there is this draw. So she might be quite funny. She might play the fool, but I actually think she's a lot smarter than she makes out. I think this is just how she either chooses to present herself, or she's almost quite happy that people think she's a bit of a fool. You know, and that might be her public image. She might be like the class clown. This is really what I'm getting from this. This someone is obviously a freaking empress, but she's quite happy to pretend she's a bit, maybe even a bit dim or unaware of what's going on around her, when she's actually very clear in the situation. I think she's a lot clearer than he is. I think this is what's confusing him, because she may well have, you know, various aspects of her personality that she shows at various times, and he just hasn't got a clue. And as I say, he does not know if she's a femme fatale or a nun, and his anxiety is like off the charts here. I'll come on to that in a second. So with the sun, the clarity, the illumination, I've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse here. It might be that someone has been involved with someone else, and this is just a very powerful flirtation, and now it's maybe become known that there is no one else in the picture with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. There is no juggling. And I have my Penelope Dreamweaver. You're indestructible. I almost feel like this, he watches her. This is her, like, in her glow up. She's, you know, quite magical. She's quite dreamy. She might be a bit of visionary. She might just be like a bit airy-fairy, you know. But the Two of Pentacles in reverse, I'm actually seeing is probably quite positive. So I don't know if one of them is involved with someone else, and now that's no longer the case. And that's what might become public, that someone is actually available, single. Yeah. And then we have the Stork. So this transition, this change, this movement, it can sort of signify air travel. This does seem to represent my Empress here. With the Fool in reverse, it doesn't have to be the Empress. I just think this is a case of they are considering moving towards one another, actually traveling to meet up. But we have the Fool in reverse here, and someone is really not sure about whether to make this move with the Fool in reverse. This is someone doesn't have the courage, or is trying to muster the courage to either break through their self-limiting beliefs, or just make this move, awaken to the possibility that this is a possibility, but they're holding themselves back because they just aren't clear. I'll come on to that. It's almost like a mirror image here of what I'm saying. And with the Singer of Courage, I've got my Piper. So this is like calling in your soulmate through the ethers. This is communicating from the heart, but without words. This is a very magnetic, very seductive attraction. With regards to an impossible situation, this is not being able to... It's trying to avoid extremes, but it's an outcome that's impossible to predict, and I really do think that's his Emperor's problem. He can't work this one out. He's maybe, oh yeah, let me see, what did I get on him? Another one bites the dust. I literally don't know if this couple want to, you know, get together and have like a relationship, have like crazy sex, or actually kill one another. Honest to God, they are so very similar, but they're competitive. They're both very determined individuals. I did get the Power of Love. It's a curious thing. I'll put the songs below. Have a wee listen. Steve walks warily down the street, but this Steve seems to be a girl. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? It's a showdown. Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? And I'm going to get you too, which is hilarious because the title of my reading yesterday was I'm Going to Get You. It was a very different story, however, or maybe it's not. So yeah, this is like a really hot, intense attraction, but it may even be a little bit nasty. It's like this really elaborate mating ritual. That's it is funny. Right, so I asked, what does this Empress in reverse want from the Emperor? And I've got gotcha. She literally wants to surprise him. She wants to blindside him. She wants to scare him. Maybe even try and sort of scare him off. But I actually think she wants him to wake the fuck up. Wake up, because I've got taken myself. She wants him to have his light bulb moment. She wants him to do a 180. She wants him also to avoid excesses and, you know, stabilize himself. She wants him to be solid. She wants him to be grounded. She wants him to be, you know, she wants him to learn from the past. So I don't know if that their encounter has been that. I think he's, I don't think he's had any clue as to handle this female, basically. But she wants, I think she does want to surprise him. I think she probably already has, but I think she actually takes some pleasure in the fact that she is someone who does do continual 180s, and she actually, you know, might find that quite amusing, or she does it because she is denying an emotional truth of her own. But what she wants from him is stability in the main. And I'm coming back to, don't get me wrong, if I'm acting this and I'm acting that, this is really what she wants. She doesn't want to do, maybe she's quite a flaky character herself, or someone who is very unsure as to the situation, or this individual in particular, and she needs someone who's very grounded, very stable. I'm not saying a plodder, but I think she might need a lot more grounding energy than she probably possesses, quite possibly. And then I've asked what she wants from, hang on, she wants from the Emperor. What does he want with the Empress? Oh my God, he just doesn't know if he's coming or going. I mean, would you look at this? I've got Geo the Slow in reverse. I've got the Rar card in reverse, and I've got the Death card in reverse. Now, Geo the Slow is about, it can be there's a lot of unnecessary delays here. It's basically stalling. He's stalling for time, and he needs a firm push to get him into motion. Geo is supposed to be slow and steady, wins the race, taking his time, you know, don't push the river, everything's chill. When Geo is in reverse, he's stopped dead. He's not moving at all. He's become rigid, and he's at risk of becoming a stone fairy here. He is a stone fairy. The stone fairies don't move. He's not making the moves that he's supposed to make. He has got, with the Rar card, he needs to take a cold shower, basically. He might be someone who is very impulsive, very hasty, and now he's trying not to be that. So he's trying to be grounded. He may realise that that's something that she wants, or something that he would just like to be in himself. He doesn't want to go on any wild tangents, and it's because he's not sure about who he's dealing with. He really can't fathom this female whatsoever. But this also, to me, is sometimes a bit of sexual frustration, and I'm getting this very strong magnetic pull between them. It's a real problem. It's a terrible problem. That's literally the title of the Rar card in reverse here. This is someone who's kind of lost control of the situation. There are illusions, there are delusions, and they're running right through this, partnership, whatever it may be. And he just doesn't know. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want it to be over, but at the same time, with the Death card in reverse in this deck, this is blocking necessary changes. There might be changes he has to make and he feels he needs more time. So he may actually want for her to give him more time to work through whatever he's working through. But I mean, if you are the Empress, and obviously, you know, 80% of my listeners are female, and you are genuinely interested in this person, you may need to give them a little nudge if you're very keen, a very little nudge. Yeah, I think you're walking on broken glass here, walking on eggshells. I don't think you know how to handle this either, but Power of Love. I asked, sorry, what the Emperor wants with this Empress. So he's come through as my Divine Masculine himself. So this is also wanting a level of stability. It's spiritual healing. It's very passionate. It's very erotic. But it's also a very grounded, paternal person. But then I've got my Journeyman in reverse here, and again, not prepared to take the leap, not wanting to take this chance. So 2 Fool cards in reverse for this Emperor. I think they mostly relate to him because he's got courage with the Piper. I always see that as my masculine. This is an adventure that he's just not sure if he's up for. He's just not sure is the bottom line. And at the base of the deck, they have got the Guardian of the Gate. So I almost feel they're both at the, you know, at the gate here. And it's just a case of whether they want this passage to a new life, whether they want to move this on to a new level. And neither of them are breaking cover. That's what it is. Because they don't know if they're going to run into one another's arms and embrace and, you know, have a massive, fantastic tussle, or they're literally going to start, you know, shooting each other. I honestly, they don't know. They don't know how this is going to play out. And my poor masculine, he doesn't know if he's going to get the dark freaking lady here. Doesn't know if he's going to get Angel Wings here, who's all very seductive, you know, alluring, femme fatale. Or he's going to get the red-eyed monster, and she's going to like be like the, you know, the spider that eats him once she's had sex with him. He really doesn't know. He's actually very, I think, quite afraid of this person. I don't think he's capable at this stage to manage this particular female, and she's giving out probably very mixed signals. Yeah. It's deep, it's dark, it's the Sea Mermaid. Okay, we're taking advice card for the daily reading of the 23rd. Please like, please subscribe if you would like a personal. All my information is below. Spirit, what advice do you have for the 23rd? Should I take one each? I do have 2. What advice do you have for my Empress for this reading? What advice do you have? What is it, sweetheart?
I'll make pudding's food.
He never.
He ate it all.
He's a bugger. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I thought you were finishing.
No, I'm not. Advice for the Empress for this reading, the 23rd of January. What advice, please, Spirit, do you have for my Empress? Trust your trust your talents in changing time. My God, there's the fox again. What? Spirit fox. Oopsie. Stay alert because change is in the air. Are you ready for the showdown? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? The energies around you are changing at this time, and although it may not always be comfortable, you are equipped with all you need to survive this shift. You are being presented with opportunities to reach spaces you've never encountered before, and this can make you feel on edge. But be open to the shifts occurring because they really are the answer to your prayers. The experience of being hunted or threatened is now behind you, and you are being invited to come out from your den and reveal your glory and talents. Call upon Spirit Fox Medicine to help you be seen for who you are and trust in your talents. Stay alert as changes in the air. So this would sort of suggest that you've maybe been had some issues in the past and maybe had some predators around you, and now You're very much the opposite of public, because obviously this garden card is about publicity and, you know, how our social life, our social circles, that sort of thing. And the Empress in reverse here. So this might suggest that you have withdrawn from that because you do feel that you're maybe attracting the wrong sort of people or energy. This is suggesting you don't need to do that anymore. Certainly you've got to stay alert because there's always going to be, you know, mentalists out there. But you're not being hunted or threatened if that was something you felt in the past. Interesting. And can I have an advice card for my Emperor who is himself? What advice can you offer the Emperor? Feel loved and comforted. This is Mother Earth. Saturday night fever. Maybe you're going to go out on Saturday night. Oh no, it's staying, yeah, it's staying alive. Fucking hell. Mother Earth. You may have felt overwhelmed or out of control emotionally recently, but you are now moving back to your natural centre, and that will bring you to a place of clarity and openness. If you have felt ungrounded, and that's what she wants from you, and that's what you're trying to achieve, I can see that, then Mother Earth is here to root you and help you regain your sense of strength. You may not feel like a child, but in the eyes of the divine, you are a child of light, and it's important to know that and feel loved. If you have had any challenges with your mother or with being a mother yourself, know that the energies of mother healing are with you, and to help clear any ancestral blockages, allow yourself to be cherished. I'm seeing this as your Empress, actually. I think she cares for you very deeply, but for whatever reason she's choosing not to show it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. It is just a daily, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you find it useful. Love to hear your comments, and enjoy the 23rd. Bye bye.